Joining us now are Waterloo Road cast members. The new series started earlier this month and explores the issue of coercive control.
I think it's really important that we raise awareness for this topic, and I really hope people maybe spot signs in their own relationships or in friends and family.
Jared, you're hurting me.
You wouldn't associate this kind of thing happening with younger generation.
Libby! Did he do this to you?
I will never lie to you again.
This can happen to teenagers, and teenage relationships can become dangerous really quickly.
Jared.
Young boys, they're not born like this.
Just listen to me.
How are they becoming sort of indoctrinated into these violent patterns and behaviours?
I told you not to block me all your life.
25% of girls under 18.
And 18% of boys report physical violence from an intimate partner.
72% of girls and 51% of boys reported some form of emotional abuse.
I'm Matthew Khan, and I play Jared Jones.
I'm Hattie Dynevor, and I play Libby Guthrie.
Screw Dean and his clown psychic too.
So in the latest series of Waterloo Road, we are playing a storyline about coercive control.
And I think we were both really shocked to find out what a big issue this is in teen relationships.
Since the series has come out, we've seen this huge reaction to it.
And heard from people's own experiences.
So we wanted to see for ourselves how the charity Let Me Know is using the storyline to raise awareness at a local college.
Morning, everyone, then. So, my name's Ryan. We specialise in delivering healthy relationship workshops, OK? So, today, there will be a lot of conversation around what relationships might look like in a healthy context and an unhealthy context. We're going to watch a clip.
Really pay attention to the different behaviours that are being played out.
If you want to make it as an actor, you need to get tougher. Can't be getting over emotional every time someone gives you a bit of direction.
I'm not. Alina said that.
Alina's a bimbo. Stop valuing their opinion over mine.
No, I'm not, I swear.
If you think Alina's so great, why don't you put your false eyelashes back on, make your face like a clown?
I feel like watching that is like probably the first time that I've seen that and gone, that's exactly how it is. And the isolation and then the manipulating and then you second guess yourself.
He was very much aware of the hold and control that he was developing within that relationship, right? So over time, he would start to make decisions to abuse that power.
I got beaten up by my stalker because of what you told the teacher.
I told you I didn't say anything.
You showed her that video of me helping you. You haven't even asked if I'm okay.
Jared.
It's like, that's why all this is happening.
Deflecting responsibility and guilting, and it's like, oh, everything that you do is the reason why I act the way I act. So it's not actually my fault that I do these actions, it's because of you.
There was that kind of notion where, you know, this is where I want it to go to. I want to be able to control this relationship and abuse my power within this relationship. But I'm going to start with very small things, just to kind of, you know, see how far I can push this.
Morning.
Hi.
I'm sure she's avoiding us.
One thing that stood out for me the most was denial, because a lot of young people go through that. We're in denial about a lot of situations that happen in our lives, and I think that's because we're scared to come to the realisation of what is going on.
You don't appreciate me. I love you so much. You make me feel like I'm nothing.
Jared, you're hurting me.
Almost a love bombing aspect of it. We're going, no, but I love you. Look at me, look at everything I'm doing for you, look at how much I love you. And you don't realise it, and you're just stood there going, oh yeah, he had a go at me, but he's the one who loves me so much, he's the one who cares about me so much. And that's so, like, refreshing to see it, especially when it's like, because Waterloo Road is such like a young person TV show. And because we're so young, and like when you get into your first relationship, you don't know what love is, you don't know what it's going to look like. And if that's the love that you get for your first time round, that's what you think love is.
We know that it's not easy to remove ourselves from these situations. It almost must feel quite like borderline impossible. However, if the people that I've grown up around or the people that I'm referring to maybe had the education of identifying the signs early on through coerciveness and through relationship abuse, we can then start to see, yeah, actually breaking up safely and understanding how to do that is super important.
Just being able to hear from these students and see how knowledgeable they are and how aware of it they are.
I was really surprised on how much terminology they knew already and like all the things that they were bringing to the conversation, which was stuff I didn't know and stuff that I was researching before the role.
It's like thinking back to like secondary school, I don't remember any lesson on any of this kind of terminology or even just like any idea of
what a healthy relationship is, so it was very reassuring.
I think a lot of people imagine domestic abuse only happens in marriages or older relationships.
It's definitely on the rise in younger people. To gain more insight, we sat down with Emma from Refuge to discuss what she's noticing in her work with teens.
Sometimes I need a bit of space.
You know, every time you speak to one of your family, it's like you're a different person. You start questioning everything about our relationship.
That's not what I'm doing.
You just said you needed space away from me.
Well, I didn't mean it like that.
So Emma, are these the kind of stories that you're hearing every day?
Sadly, yes, we are. We're seeing more and more survivors come through both to our service and the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. Things can very, very quickly escalate from what feels like a normal, loving, healthy relationship to something that feels uneasy, feels that there's risks there that's manifesting. So unfortunately, we are seeing kind of more increasing concerns raised by both women and girls that are coming to our services.
Where can this behaviour lead, like particularly in schools, actually?
It's being really normalised where young people share location information with their friends and their networks and their intimate partners. That isolation then creates barriers for seeking support. They become then dependent on the perpetrator. Blackmail, emotional blackmail, usually that's linked with intimate images. If someone's phone is being monitored, tracked, their calls are being monitored, you can imagine the risk around picking up the phone and calling a helpline or calling someone for support, or even just calling your family, because the perpetrators are then going to be able to question, I know that you spoke to your friend today, I know what you shared, I know what the conversation looked like. So while that is extreme, we do know that sadly it can happen, and it's important that people are mindful of these cases, and there's some like genuine learning, and we make sure that we implement the learnings in school settings to protect other young people in school.
Yeah.
My name is Flo and I am a domestic abuse survivor.
Flo Finch is a digital content creator dedicated to raising awareness about coercive control and emotional healing.
I know a lot of women who have probably experienced this. I know a lot of women who feel like their trauma is invalid.
Because of the way that the system is here, he will never spend a day in his life in prison. He gets away with it.
Having personally experienced the devastating effects of coercive control, Flo has transformed her pain into purpose. With over 500,000 followers on TikTok, Flo has built a supportive online community where she shares her personal experiences, insights on healing, and resources for those affected by domestic abuse. Hi, Flo. Thank you for coming to Waterloo Road.
Thank you for having me.
So what inspired you to share your story with coercive control on social media?
I put up this video, and within literally about 20 minutes, I'd gone viral, like super viral. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I kind of got this account landed on my lap with loads of victims reaching out to me saying like, I can relate to your story, like, please share more. And so that was really the inspiration. Yeah.
Have you had a lot of people like reaching back to you and being like, I'm aware of the behaviours and stuff because of what you posted, and, you know, people been potentially able to escape because of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I have a little tally in my bedroom, and I've currently, that I know of, saved 372 women.
Wow.
So all because they've reached out. So I've had like over 300 people say to me that I'm the reason that they left.
So you've actually been through this, and we've played the characters and done the show. How beneficial do you think that is?
I think it can be really beneficial to get the message out there. I think it's really important to talk about coercive control, and making maybe a difference, I think, is really, really important for TV shows to do. I think when we glorify toxic relationships, whether it's through music, whether it's through social media, you've got kids that are thinking that that is love and that that is normal. I think the most normal love that you can get is boring love. And although it's boring and it's not exciting like the romance novels or the music videos, it's stable and it is kind and it is calm in a world that is chaotic.
What would you say to someone watching that may think they're going through it, how to seek help?
So if a young student, teenager found themselves in that situation, I would really recommend trying to find a safe person. So having someone that's a safe space in school to talk to. It's not to say that that teacher isn't going to tell your parents. You know, actually, the teacher probably will. And although that might be scary, it's a good buffer if you're too scared to tell your parents straight away. A teacher is a really good person as your starting point, saying like, I'm here for you to talk, you know, let's figure out something, let's make you safe.
And I really hope it raises awareness to the fact that ordinary teenage relationships can turn dangerous really quickly, and it's important to recognise the signs and get help.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you think you or someone you care about may be in an abusive relationship, here are some details that can provide you with urgent help, support, and advice.